What is up, people of the internet? Welcome back to GS Talks. This is part 2 of last week's show that we did, Best of 2017. But this podcast, we talk about video games, the best and worst of 2017, basically. We also talk about dream projects. Some projects that we like to do in the future, some that we already had in the past that we did. And again, it's me, Scott, Sam, and Justin coming back for this podcast. So fun topics there. Also, next coming weeks, a new top 5, so look out for that. I think it'll be about the PS1 video game system, so look forward to that. Again, come on back. We love your attention. We love your appreciation. So subscribe to GSTV Studios if you can, and Meet Your Fist Films. Enjoy the podcast. Here we go.
Dance if you want to. You can leave your friends behind. Because the friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, well, then no friends of mine.
Hey, everybody! Hey! How's everyone doing? We're just hanging out here. We switched the seats a little bit for whatever reason. We got Sam, Justin,
for billing reasons.
I didn't move.
Well, you know.
That's for billing reasons.
Justin,
He's just part of the furniture now.
You're the unmovable object to my resistible force.
You tried, and I appreciate that.
Anyways, we're just hanging out here. Again, Scott's Thoughts, MBT7 Reviews.
Scott's Thoughts!
Holmes University 5. And I think I recall a couple of podcasts ago, you were helping some guy with a music video, right?
Yeah, I was helping with my my friend Jordan, also known as MCDMK from Everett. Check it out.
Is that music video out?
You're gonna have to ask him because he's got like 30 different projects he's doing because he's doing animation and everything. He's going to school, so keep an eye out for it.
All right, and Sam, your cosplay on Instagram.
Kick him cosplay.
Awesome indeed. And GSTV Studios is a channel that this is on, so be sure to like and subscribe to that. So guys,
David's back.
David's back. Hi,
David is back.
David's back.
Did he ever really leave?
David is my Instagram fan.
When we last talked, we talked about the best and worst of 2017 as far as movies and music goes.
Yes.
We'll touch and go on this real quick before we get to the main subject. Video games. Does anyone here play video games?
Yes.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
let's go
kinda.
quickly. We'll start with best and go to worst. Best video games of 2017. Sam.
I would say Cuphead.
Oh.
The fact that they hand drew everything.
Yeah, it's amazing animation.
The soundtrack is phenomenal. The fact that the company thanked everyone, all of that stuff, they are just it's a really quality game. It's so difficult though. It is so flippin' difficult.
Probably the hardest platforming game I've ever played.
Yeah, it's a boss runner, so everything is a boss. You have 3 hits and you're dead. But it's an amazing game.
Justin, best?
Honestly, this game came out like forever ago, but they re-released a special edition last year, Elder Scrolls Skyrim.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
I never played it up to that point.
Okay, I have my... Continue.
I never played up to the point, and I was looking for an RPG to play. That's something I can just really immerse myself in. And that, I just kind of dove right in, and it kept my attention.
Before we get to you, side note, I've never played Skyrim. It must be a very good game to get released several times.
Like 7 times.
Well,
Basically.
It's one of those things where it's really open world, so it feels like you can just continuously add things, but they're not so pushy like some of the other open world games. So they add stuff and they recognize things.
It's at least 6 to 8 years old, right?
It's
just
10
about.
years old.
Just
it's 10 years old.
Just about, and because it takes a long time because there's so much to do, so many side quests and main quests, so many things and different things you can become and that you can do in the way you play the game, that it takes a long time to make these games.
Did they touch up on the graphics at all? I hope they did.
It depends on the because I honestly don't know because again I'm playing on my PlayStation 4 and everything. I know it just got released for the Switch and everything. So
VR soon too.
VR soon too. So it really depends, but I've been enjoying it immensely because there's so much to do and I've just been diving right into it.
Awesome, Skyrim, check it out. Scott,
All
best
right.
of 2017 games.
Best of 2017 games. I got to go with Sam Cuphead. Cuphead was spectacular. That game was so fun to play. I was sitting there. I died. I think it was 97 times I counted on one of the bosses. And I was sitting there, and I'd be screaming at the TV come on! But it took me back to that era where you lose all the time, and then when you finally win, it's so gratifying.
Yeah.
Dark Souls, everyone claims that's their version of that. To me, no. Cuphead was where it's at, because it had that, the hand animation. It was just a true testament of love to gaming.
Yeah, well, and the fact, I can't get over the soundtrack. The soundtrack is
it's amazing.
so good.
David made a comment about Cuphead.
About Disneyland when you're walking around.
It does have that Disneyland feel.
Yeah.
Yo, David made a comment about Cuphead. He said,
David on the live stream says,
"Screw Cuphead. Took me 2 days and it sucked." I've never played Cuphead, so the people who've played it and loved it,
Do you like classic platforming games?
Oh yes, I used to play those a lot as a
Then
kid.
you're gonna love this.
Do you love Contra or Mega Man?
Oh hell yeah, dude!
Then
Actually,
it's
hold up.
Cuphead.
I got my Mega Man X shirt.
Yeah, Mega
And
Man
they're
X.
actually re-releasing all the Mega Man X games
I'm
as
so
well as Mega
excited.
Man 9. So I'm like super stoked for that.
I am too. And yes, then you'll like Cuphead because Cuphead is literally
It's
like
a love
a
letter
Mega
to
Man
it.
game.
It's a love letter to it.
It's a love
Hell
letter
yes.
to
I'm-
stuff like
I'm
that.
excited about
Real quick.
it.
Sam and I both, I think you posted about Cuphead on Facebook or something.
Yeah, no, it's phenomenal. It's so phenomenal.
It's really good. I played it. It's amazing. I have two. Ty.
What you got?
One is kind of a cop out because I used to love these games back in the 90s growing up. Sonic Mania.
Oh, Sonic Mania was my, if I had honorable mentions.
Sonic Mania, I think, because it was made by the fans and endorsed
Yeah.
by Sega.
Yeah.
I've heard the same thing.
And the
I've heard
soundtrack
good
by
things.
I forget his name. Forgive me, I'll remember it later. It did an amazing job capturing that kind of because they wanted to make it feel like a game if the game came out on the Sega Saturn.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I got you.
Nice.
So-
It was a lot of fun. If you love Cuphead and that kind of stuff, they literally set out to make like a Genesis Saturn type game, and they made one of those old school like Sonics. They used basically the
Yeah.
engine of the old school Sonic
Right.
games.
Oh, cool.
But they
Yeah.
built it from the
That's
ground
what's
up.
That's
Exactly.
what's up.
That's
I dig
awesome.
The second one is Super Mario Odyssey.
Okay. Yeah. No,
That looked like a good game. They look like fun.
It really brought me back to what I love about Super Mario 64, basically, and it just has such a jazzy theme
well,
to it. It's all
and
good.
it feels to me playing that one. It feels like the games that we grew up with, where even though you had the quest and you had the things that were laid out, it didn't feel closed.
Right.
So I liked that.
And it has, honorable mention too. I forgot completely was Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
Really
definitely.
good honorable mention. I know you don't like Zelda that much.
I'm not a big Zelda.
not a
fan,
big Zelda
but,
guy.
You know, I respect the craft it takes to make those games because the effort they put in those games is not easy.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
It's never been my cup of tea, but I respect.
Like,
the
I
creation
think
of
you
it.
and me agree. I understand why people like it.
Yeah.
It's just not mine.
yeah,
Right.
Exactly.
I get
Yeah.
it. I get it. So that's mine. Let's go.
Real quick though, I do want to say I did love, especially the fact that Destiny took its fan community and its complaints into consideration with Destiny 2, and they significantly improved the product.
I'm gonna have to. Because I haven't played Destiny 2. I wanted to like Destiny 2 or Destiny. I really wanted to like it.
Same
and
here. Same here.
It was one of those ones where it felt really disappointing. So I'll have to check it out. But for me right now, it's like a really bad breakup. You just don't want to go back.
I actually I'm in the I disagree. I really like Destiny 1. But I will say that I feel like Destiny 2, they took the complaints of the community and said, okay, this is the problems you had. We're going to give you that. And so they gave it to us.
Yeah.
And I think, honestly, they genuinely improved on the product because they listened to the fans.
Okay, well, and I can appreciate that from a production company. I would say the worst game of 2017 would probably be Mario Maker.
Really? Oh, that was pretty bad.
Really?
No, mostly
What?
just
That was
mostly-
bad.
No, it did great.
Mostly,
I can't. I'm gonna be with Chris on this one.
yeah. Continue, Sam. Though.
But yes,
most of the problem that I have with it is actually the community that kind of formed around it.
Really?
You know?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So like, oh gosh, I don't remember the Happy Wheels. Like,
Okay.
with Happy Wheels, it started off amazing, and then the whole point of it was to try and find how close you could get to that boundary line without like causing issues. So like Nintendo is pretty strict about how they handle things, and so it was like, oh, how can we make a joke that's going to get us in trouble without actually making a
Yeah.
joke?
Okay. I know what you're saying.
And so,
the
it was like-
community. I get.
yeah,
it. I get you. I get
but
you.
I appreciated the thought process.
But
and
you
the
can
way
say that
it-
about any game. The community can ruin the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That is
okay,
true,
okay, I'm
but-
sorry, but Nintendo fanboys in
Ninten-
general.
Nintendo fanboys are the worst.
Me and Justin, basically.
yeah. Oh well, I wouldn't call myself a fanboy, but
Look at those consoles behind you.
look at that logo. But I can understand like when a community like destroys a video game
Yeah.
and the experience. Like Call of Duty is riddled with them. Or if
Oh,
you play
I haven't touched Call of
Counter
Duty,
Strike,
Yeah.
Halo is the
Halo,
same thing.
I think Halo, the community ruined Halo 2 a little bit. Scott knows that me and Scott used to play Halo way back in the day. Like,
Yeah.
With the 3, Reach, and
Yeah.
4 even.
Yeah.
When 5 came out, I think it killed
I
it killed
played
the Halo
5
franchise.
royally, but the community does have a severe hindrance. Let's say for you, a more casual player, because I play it hardcore. I play it pretty regularly.
Yeah, I didn't play Halo
But
much.
if you're not a hardcore player, it does not welcome you because the Halo community of like those people would just ruin it, and
Yeah.
that's a lot of the problem.
Well, and I think in general, if you have a crappy community,
it will hurt any game.
Yeah,
A
exactly.
toxic
A really toxic
Yeah,
community
that's a good way to put it.
is what I really found in Mario Maker. I really wanted to like the game. I think that was the problem that I had. Is I came in
feel
going
like I've had
so
those issues.
excited
I've
about
had those
that,
issues.
and just
But I want to say it's not a 2017 game, but if you're looking for a game with a really healthy community on both Xbox One, PS4, and PC, a really healthy game community for like not quite competitive multiplayer is called Killing Floor 2.
okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was going to
Never heard
say it's essentially a wave survival game.
Yeah.
They even try and keep your interest renewed where they'll reskin every so often the enemies. Like for instance for the Christmas season, they did a Krampus theme.
Oh yeah, I love those kinds of things.
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, so like for
That's
November through January, they did a Krampus theme wave defense mode where like you're being attacked by candy cane creatures and stuff. But it's a wave defense mode, and it's all about. And they add skins and content to the game with
I hear
just
that.
regular patches. So like for instance, I wanted to earn a I wake up on Christmas Day Santa outfit kind of thing, and I wanted to earn the Christmas pajamas. So it's like everyone was working together, and I was like, hey, I'm trying
I
to
get
earn
that.
this
I
hat
get
kind
that.
of thing.
The same kind of thing is with Overwatch. Me
Yeah.
and you love
Yeah.
Overwatch. They do that. They do community stuff. I don't know. I haven't really come across anything, but so far the community has been okay to me.
The community, I think the community is pretty good about weeding itself out.
Yeah.
Right now, for
That's if
me-
you're not playing competitively.
Well, I mean, even competitively, I don't have as much of a problem with them. Mostly just because when I play Overwatch, I am just Agent of Chaos,
Right,
and so I kind of just am like, ha ha ha, whatever. I'm gonna just do my own thing. So I'm the butt head of the team every single time.
Well-
I'm so sorry, everyone.
I just noticed that there is a lot, depending on the community, not just in games, but in generally nerd culture in
Yeah.
general. There's a lot of toxic things going on and a lot of elitistness.
Yes.
if that's the
Absolutely.
proper term.
That's a
Yep.
great way to put it, actually.
And people feel superior because maybe they got into something first, or they believe it should
Right.
be this way or that
Or
way.
they have a natural predisposition to that style
Yes,
of thing.
absolutely. Because, if you meet a Spider-Man fanboy, any decision Marvel makes about Spider-Man, regardless if it's well written or not,
Yeah.
they will lose their minds.
Yep.
And
God, yeah.
send death threats and
but
whatnot.
that's off topic. But
Dare I say,
I'm
Edge
just-
of the Venom verse,
Yeah.
which I actually think is good.
Well, okay, fine. Fine.
So Justin, worst game of 2017 in your opinion that you played?
Worst game I ever played in 2017. Honestly,
I mean, you can put it that way too. Worst game you ever played in
the
2017.
worst game I played in 2017, I really don't have it because I'm not a hardcore gamer like I used to be.
Yeah.
So I'm always off doing something else, which is why when I found Skyrim, I was just happy I could
Right.
find a game I could play.
But is there a
So I
game like you
can't-
played for like 5 minutes? Like, man, I don't like this. Anything?
This is I get a game in general. I'll give you two. One of them wasn't actually made last year, at least I don't think. One of them was Injustice 2. As much as I love now, getting wrong, I love the DC characters. I love fighting games,
Yeah.
but I honestly could not. It could not keep my attention. I could not. I couldn't finish the story mode. I
hear that.
That's
I
what I was
just-
going to say. Can I chime in on that and say that I actually agree on the story mode, but not the multiplayer mode? I think the multiplayer was a lot of fun. I don't like the story mode, but back to you.
But I thought it was all right. But another game I picked up was I used to play Saints Row, and I love those games.
Oh.
And it was like this combo pack with Saints Row 4 and Get Out of Hell.
Yeah.
And I tried
Okay.
getting
It was
back in.
bad. It was
I tried
bad.
getting back into it, and honestly, it just, as much as I like certain aspects of Saints Row 4, it did not keep my attention. And again, I just didn't really care. I
Saints
didn't.
Row 3 is better in my opinion. I know you like Saints Row 1 and 2.
Saints Row 1 and 2 are definitely my favorites. And 4, I like what they try to do and make it more goofy and campy, but I feel like you lost something when you just kind of OP.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Three's
saying?
still my
Basically-
favorite.
2 is
Three's-
always going to be my
three's
favorite.
my favorite too.
I can't like 3 on the principle that they killed Johnny Gat, so
He comes back.
as a zombie.
Spoilers.
He comes back in the
He
Saints
comes
Row
back
3.
in 4.
He comes back in 4. He's a zombie in 3.
Well, whatever.
Well, in 3, they bring him back technically if you include the DLC.
Yes.
No,
Yeah, he's in it.
I don't care. It doesn't count.
Okay, it doesn't count in
Scott,
your eyes.
Worst game of 2017.
The Saints Row spin-off game. to me,
Agents of Mayhem.
Agents of Mayhem.
Okay, I will actually put that on there because I was really excited
That
for this game.
game.
That game sucks. It does
And that
suck.
game
It
was not
sucked.
good. Like I even had the Johnny Gat DLC. I was like, "Yeah, I'm Johnny Gat. I'm gonna mess you up," and it just was so
It's not a good game.
boring.
Yeah.
it was
It's
boring.
unfortunate because
That's really hard when a game is boring
Yes.
because you know that someone put their time and and effort and energy
Yeah.
into it. And if like
sucks.
it can't keep your attention, that's just the worst.
So
Yeah, okay. That's what I forgot, was I played that game. I blocked that.
go ahead, Scott.
They'd said that they were going to do a Saints Row game that was going to be a spin-off and it was going to be its whole new thing.
Right.
And I was like, sweet. New Saints Row of some sort. And then it's Agents of Mayhem, and I played it, and I was like, what? No! And I turned it off, like a minute or two in almost.
Same here. Well, I watched
Or
the
maybe an
playthrough, but I
hour.
didn't necessarily play it,
Wow.
but I know it sucks.
Well, one of the big
Yeah.
issues with the game is that you have all these different characters, and they each have a different build set. So you got to
Yeah.
build your team or whatever. But the enemies do not cater to your build. Like you have this one girl who's awesome, and she's like super fast. She does a bow and arrow, and that's really dope. But it is absolutely useless against any enemy you face. So you got to bring out your big guns and da da da. So it just doesn't like, oh, this person's actually.
Like they missed a step. You know, like
Right.
there was a miscommunication or something.
They missed the balancing portion.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It felt like it was rushed. But anyways, moving on with me. Some of you may agree, some of you may disagree. There's a huge community out there that's probably going to destroy me. That's fine, because I don't play the game anymore. But how many of you are familiar with PUBG?
Nope.
Player Underground.
Nope, never heard of it.
It's a battle royale, basically.
Nope.
Think of like
I've heard of it for sure.
think of Hunger
I don't
Games,
know
but
that
with
I've played
guns
it.
and stuff.
Nope.
So battle royale.
It's basically battle royale. It's basically King of the Hill, most if you want to put it that way. But anyways, it's a game where you basically parachute into this big island with like literally 100 players. First of all, literally 100 players.
Isn't that Players Underground?
That's what I was saying.
Oh,
But
you abbreviated
yeah,
it.
PUBG.
Okay.
That may be what it's called. To the
Players.
fans.
It's that one that PewDiePie got in trouble for dropping the N bomb.
Yeah, well, we won't get into that. But anyways, there's a game that's kind of like it. That it's actually really good. It's free on the Xbox One if you guys want to check it out. It's
free on the Xbox One.
Let me finish. There's a game like it that's on the Xbox One
Oh.
that's free. It's called Fortnite.
Ooh,
Oh yeah, I heard of it. I've heard good things
really
about that.
good. It's basically a better balanced version of that game.
I might check that out actually.
It's really good. You should check it out. And then I put things down we were looking forward to. It could be anything. 2018 is finally here. Minus 3 weeks.
Close enough. It's still January.
So I'm looking forward to the movie. You guys may have your own opinions, but I'm looking forward to the new Avengers movie for sure.
Oh, Infinity War
Yeah.
looks amazing. The new
Looks
trailer looks awesome.
Yes.
I'm so stoked for Infinity War.
But there's a movie coming out in March that hasn't had a trailer yet, which is really shocking to me, is the Solo movie coming out.
It's
Han
because
Solo.
that movie's going to be ass.
Oh, the Han.
Han Solo.
I'm gonna say that movie has to be delayed by now. Someone has. They have to.
It comes out in a few months.
Well,
and there's no
Disney,
trailer.
Disney.
That's kinda what I'm
There's already
saying.
been leaked documentation that Disney has no faith in the movie and they want it to flop.
But that's happened before.
Yeah, and Disney, like any corporation, sometimes they don't recognize the opportunity that they have.
right.
So I mean, it could go really well.
It could. But anyways, that's one of the things I'm looking forward to. Anything you guys looking forward to?
Oh, I have one.
I'm actually really looking forward to Black Panther.
Yes, I'm looking forward to Black Panther as well.
I think
The second
it's
trailer
weird
got me
because
hyped.
Infinity Wars is coming out after it,
Yeah.
but
Does it
like
take place after?
yeah, no,
Yeah.
So we know he lives.
So Black Panther comes out in February, and Infinity Wars comes out in like June or July. But I haven't seen as much
May.
trailers or anything, which is really disappointing to me because it is one of those characters where it's such a strong character, and it should be something that we see more.
To its credit, I really like when trailers actually don't give away the film.
Right, absolutely.
Well, they did release a new trailer recently for Black Panther, and within the next week or so, we're probably going to see some TV spots for it.
Fingers crossed.
And because it's mostly a lot of online marketing, and
Yeah.
if you're online, if you're really plugged into the nerd community, you'll see a lot of stuff for it.
Yeah.
Go
And,
ahead and go into what you want to see. Looking forward to seeing that.
what am I looking forward to seeing? I don't know. Because we said Infinity War and we said Black Panther. I'm also looking forward to the Aquaman movie
Ooh.
because despite what you may think of the DCEU as it stands now, regardless of Justice League or whatever,
side
I
note,
really
Jason Momoa, man.
I really like Jason Momoa, and I'm looking forward to. And James
Aqua Bro.
Wan is such a strange.
Russell's man.
James Wan is such a strange person to direct that kind of movie, and I'm actually really interested in seeing how all that plays
Absolutely. Scott, what are you looking forward to seeing in 2017?
Okay, so
18.
in 2018, the one I'm looking forward to comes out in April. That is
no.
titled Cloverfield: The God Particle.
God Particle.
Cloverfield.
I knew he was going to say. I knew he was going to
It
say
is
that.
the fact that it comes
be
out
a
in
must
April. The filming has been wrapped. All of the production has been
This is when
wrapped.
you just, like,
It
pour
comes
a
out
drink.
in April. And 10 Cloverfield Lane was incredible. Julius Ona is going to be directly involved. No, you all laugh, but yet everyone says the Marvel movies and all the they all say every single time, Solo, Marvel movies, all that.
It's because we're nerds, mate.
Yes, and Cloverfield is taking at least interesting tries with being an anthology series that's all directly connected to each other.
I did like
and
the fact that 10 Cloverfield Lane was so different from Cloverfield.
Definitely.
Yes, absolutely.
And I thought they did a really good job.
I actually got around to watching it. I really did enjoy it.
Yes.
Me and Scott were so... Because he was actually hanging out in my house when that trailer dropped, and we're just like, oh my God, it's going to be amazing!
We were geeking out, and the fact that the new Cloverfield film, Cloverfield God Particle, they still haven't released a trailer, and I love the cast. David Oyelowo, or however the hell you pronounce his name.
He played Martin Luther King.
Lupita Nyong'o. Then you have Daniel Brohl. And
he's good.
Yeah, and it's like the cast is like award-winning cast. You haven't seen it because they filmed it in genuine secrecy. I love the fact that these Cloverfield films. Yes,
okay.
That they're filmed in genuine secrecy.
Sam had something to say.
No, see, here's the thing. The reason that all of us are like about Cloverfield, you love it so much.
We've heard it 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the audience has
Yes,
not.
they have.
Yes, they have. Anyone that knows you as a face, as a personality, knows how you feel about these
you
movies.
asked the question.
I'm so happy you love Cloverfield. I really do.
And I will definitely, I will definitely watch.
Okay, so then you ask the question, and then it's like,
Yeah.
okay,
You give the
let's
answer,
ask
but
the
then
question, and everyone but Scott can give their answer.
No, you gave your answer, but then you went into like how much you love Cloverfield.
Yes, and of
10
course, but you
Cloverfield.
guys all get to have your reasons, so why not me?
Absolutely.
But we're just that's just our reactions to you, Scott. Nothing
Fake
more.
news.
But there was one movie that I was so looking forward to.
Okay, so Jonathan
that-
Hart says can't wait for it. As I was talking about Cloverfield is when he sent it. So, boom! I got my audience here.
That's fine.
Two
Represent.
people.
Thank you,
But
Jonathan.
there was,
I love you.
There was one movie that got pushed back that was supposed to come out this year that, again, is more on the lines of Marvel and everything, and that's New Mutants.
Oh, I want to look.
I was so excited to see a X-Men related movie that was not related to the main X-Men cast. That was a horror movie, and I was so excited for it. And then they pushed it back like a year, and I know they're going to reshoot it and make it PG-13, and that pisses me off.
They better not. Also, I want to say
Nope,
that
too late. We're about to go to our first commercial break. I'm sorry to cut you off, Scott. We'll continue. We'll get back after this. We'll see you guys in a minute. What do you like to call this segment? Car Time with Rosman. Oh, it's really warm.
All right. This is the air box, which is the air cleaner inside, which cleans your air. Yeah. This big thing right here with the no touchy sign. That's where the exhaust pipes are, and you don't want to touch that shit because it's really hot. Yeah. This is your alternator. This is your engine block. Yeah, engine. Fluids for your... Yes. Yes, this is your radiator. Right there, baby. The air goes in, cools the engine.
GSTalks. We are hashtag peeing with the bros. That's the new thing we
Hashtag
can do with
peeing with the bros. Thank you, Jonathan,
That's
for
gonna be our
that.
merchandise. Hashtag peeing with the bros.
Yes.
And Scott, you wanted to say that he was at Sundance.
Yeah, my buddy Jonathan, who may or may not appear in a film of ours sooner or later. Jonathan, we love you. You are currently over in Sundance peeing with the bros.
Hashtag peeing with the bros. All right, so
That's what you should start calling this podcast, is peeing with the bros.
That'd be a
Then
dope.
Sam, Rachel, and Jess couldn't be on the podcast. It'd be weird.
Yeah, but they can be bros. Why can't they? Are you assuming their gender? Are you assuming their gender,
Anyways.
Chris?
Anyways, Scott. Okay.
Scott, calm down. Calm down.
I'm so triggered.
Shut up, Scott.
Where's my Diet Coke?
Anyways,
What do you
yeah, what are you doing there?
I'm putting negative energy on that.
Negative. Show it.
Shoot. Okay, what do you
Anyways,
got, Chris?
so I wanted to get this topic. Scott,
Yeah.
calm down. Don't show the label now.
I'm not trying to.
Okay. I wanted to talk about, but this is going to get serious, so let's put our funny hats to the side.
No promises.
So a lot of us are, we've all been in Scott's film series.
Oh God, are we going to talk about how much we hate my
no.
movies?
I am.
I said take off your funny hat.
Not possible.
Funny
Fine,
hat
all right.
off. But
so I want to talk about dream projects that we want to do one day.
all right.
And it could be, this has to be necessarily film related to Scott's stuff. But we're going to start from Scott to Sam.
Okay.
Ignoring Justin. No, I'm kidding.
You ass. You ass. You assy.
Anyway, so the first question I want to ask is projects you'd like to do one day eventually. So a dream project. So Scott, anything you want to do eventually in the future?
So yes,
It doesn't have to be film related, but if you wanted to.
no, my films are my dreams. So
And this is only related to the meteor fist and everything, right?
No, it
No,
can
it could be
whatever.
anything. Anything. Okay.
anything. So I've always wanted to make a feature film, like a real feature film.
Not Demodon.
Not Demodon. But I've wanted to make a feature film for a long time, a good feature film. Good drama. And actually, speaking of Jonathan Hart, who made hashtag peeing with the bros, that he and I've talked about it. He's wanted to be a part of it. I've wanted to make a feature film, and I've actually been working on it. I've been writing it. The script is basically done. It's called Nothing to Pass Down. I pitched it to Samantha about being one of our line producers, who's like one of the people who make sure everything stay in line, because I'm pretty chaotic with everything I do. Chaotic. Everyone here will be involved if I can get this thing off the ground. And Jonathan's one of those actors who said, I want to be involved.
Oh, you can't. I don't know why I whipped. He can't see. He can't see me.
Do I get like a whip or a sword or?
You get a blowhorn.
You get anything we can afford in the budget.
Well, but I want to just be able to be like, no, get back to the.
We'll get you a
sweatshop.
we'll get you a stick.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
I'll get you a Nerf baseball bat.
Yes, there we go.
Like, no.
Which, if David wants to be involved, David is in this live chat too. David, of course, is always welcome. He's been a long-time family member. He was here at the Genesis. But yes, I want to make this feature film. I'm going to make it happen. I've talked to Sam. We're pretty confident this thing is going to happen. It's just a matter of getting the funding.
Justin, any dream projects? And again, it could be
I
anything.
thought we were skipping him.
Sorry, Justin, get the hell out of here.
Oh, bloody hot. Oh, this is so funny.
Oh, funny.
I got two real quick.
go for it.
One, as far as Scott and everything that we're doing, I'd love to play a villain. I
yeah,
always
you'd
really
be
want to
great.
play a
You'd
bad
be
guy,
great.
because heroes are, kind of commonplace, but villains are we're really the depth of character really comes from, in my opinion. But as far as project, because I'm a writer, I've written an episode for Scott's Doctor Who show, Shattered Time.
And you did. I think that's one of the best written episodes.
I appreciate that, thank you. But I also I write comics, and I'm actually working on a project right now where it's a retelling / kind of sequel of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, where the monster exists in modern day and just wants to be left alone.
Very cool.
And society comes and says, "Oh, you're a monster," and then he does stuff, and then he gets posted up online, and the world kind of reacts to it, and then things.
So modern
ensue
day
from it.
take it. Yeah, I get you.
Kind of, sort of, and other people get involved, that secret societies and whatever, and it's been an interesting project to kind of do. And the only reason I started doing it was because I saw the movie I, Frankenstein,
Ooh, that
Ooh,
I
ow.
liked that one.
That movie pissed me off to no end only because Frankenstein's monster should not be sexy and have a six-pack and look like he should be on GQ. And that irritated me to no end.
That's a good nitpick, though. He brings up a good point.
Yeah.
And it's just like no one wants to do Frankenstein's monster. They shouldn't. He's supposed to be grotesque and an outcast and na. But everything has to be sexy these days, so it's just whatever. And
the way we
it
live,
angered me so much that I wrote this story. So that's
Cool.
one thing. And I'm working on it right now, and hopefully by next year I'll have issue 1 out.
Hey, yeah, and I've actually read it, and I read
Oh
it
yeah,
like-
I sent Scott the script because I was like,
Yeah.
what do you think?
and I read it like 5 or 6 times, and it's honestly, especially if we can get it realized by the artists that should make it
My boy
happen.
Franco Luna.
There
Love
we
you,
go.
Franco.
It's honestly one of the most original comic book ideas I've seen in a while.
Wow.
Especially taking one of the most
Thank you,
original
Scott.
takes. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
you both read comics like crazy. I'm
It's-
Yeah, no, I'm totally down.
it's
Sounds awesome.
amazing. It's honestly
Glad you like it.
amazing.
Cool. Sam.
So for me, it would probably be like there's so many things that
You're
I want to
blocking
do
the
with my
camera.
life, but for me, it would probably be I want to write a best-selling novel, and I want to write a like screen script for it. Like I want, one of the things that I really appreciate the most about like J.K. Rowling is the fact that she built the world of Harry Potter, and then she was able to build a story that was in the same world but didn't have books, and you could understand it and like follow it, and it made sense because you had already built a relationship with the world.
I hear you.
And so something like that would be just phenomenal. So that's what I want to do.
That's dope. I dig
Yeah,
that.
that's
That's what's up. I could never write a novel. I ain't that smart.
Which actually, I wanted to say,
why I write comic
Sam,
scripts.
have you read or heard of Nora Roberts' new book, Year One?
Okay, no, I've seen it. It's definitely on my list right now. I'm actually rereading. If you don't know, when Jay and I moved, we accidentally mislabeled we mislabeled all of my books as dishes and gave them away. So
Ooh.
like 200 plus books,
Ooh.
first
Ouch.
editions,
That's a library.
comics, like.
I'd be pissed.
It was really hard. And my husband felt so bad that we're slowly rebuilding all of.
We blame you.
I was gonna say I die because I have a
blame
first
you.
edition of the Silmarillion in my library.
No, my first there's a book that I have that's really rare that my husband had to look for like 3 months to replace.
Oh my gosh.
But no, the rebuilding my library, I'm falling back in love with so many books and so many authors, and just realizing, oh man, this is definitely what I want to do.
Absolutely.
I was gonna say seriously though, once you get around to it, Nora Roberts' book Year One,
Yeah.
spectacular.
I'm gonna
Awesome.
write that down. I like that. Oh, I'll write it down later. Year one.
It's ultimately about the apocalypse has happened, and it's about
Yeah, you told
society
me before.
rebuilding
I
itself.
keep forgetting to check it out.
Yeah.
Nice. I dig that.
Yeah, it's
So,
awesome.
For me, as far as dream projects go, I want to, especially when it comes to this kind of, content and entertainment aspect of whatever YouTube is doing. Eventually, I want to get off YouTube because I think YouTube is kind of poisonous right now.
YouTube is dying in a
YouTube is
weird way.
dying. They're shooting themselves in.
They're living, but they're dying.
Exactly.
It's that same
It's
thing that we were
almost
talking
live dying.
about with the toxic community. There's a lot of things
Exactly.
right now that.
And I'm not going to get into the whole thing that's
Yeah.
been going on the past couple of months and weeks and all that kind of thing.
You know what? You should, because
Well, not maybe.
Well, you told me not to get into that. You didn't
no, I said not to get into Logan Paul. If you bring up Logan Paul, I walk. But that's beside the point.
Yeah.
You YouTube. And I'm sorry, you can say censor at this time all you want, but no. You YouTube for what you're doing, because there's people who worked their butts off, and there's channels
Says the
who
F
work
word,
their
but
butts
says
off.
butts.
There's people who've worked their
Censor
butts
butts.
off, and you know what? We're all dancing around the topic because YouTube signs the paychecks. And it's like, oh no, if we say something, YouTube's going to get mad. No!
That's not the point I want to bring up, but you do bring up a good point, and I'll come back to that, circle back around that. But anyways, what I wanted to do is eventually, expand what I'm doing. I wanted to write skits.
Expand the brand.
Expand the brand.
Yes.
Exactly. I want to do skits like we've done in the past. I want to do more podcasts, but it's hard to do when you don't get dinero.
Get money.
Look, we're using
that
freaking-
sweet
we're
internet
using
money.
tripods taped to microphones. I want to up the
That
production.
sweet
a lot.
internet money.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, yeah.
Well, it's not like YouTube will want to help you any because they want to give Superwoman
Exactly. So I'm
more
saying
money.
is, but that's beside the point. One of my dream projects is to expand.
Superwoman from YouTube. I. Superwoman. I.
I don't know
Oh,
what
Lily
that is.
Singh. Yeah, one of
okay.
YouTube's brainchilds.
Sure.
She's talked about how she supports
Anyways,
bullcrap and.
Okay, fine,
anyways,
whatever.
She's one of those.
Moving on.
Moving on, Scott. Back to dream projects. Is there anything else you guys would like to do in the future? I know you used to, b-boy.
Well, I like to just generally get in shape because I started dancing again, and
But is there anything like you want to go do anything with that? Do you want to create not necessarily a show, but do something in some sort of fashion?
not really. I just really like just the
Dancing.
art of
Yeah,
dancing, and it's fun. But I just haven't been able to do it because I injured my shoulder, which we've talked about because I was filming Holmes 5, injured my shoulder. And because I also put on weight because I'm fat, and it's been really hard to dance. So I would like to get back into shape and dance and everything. But I would like to go to Battle of the Year in Germany or France, depending what year it is. I think that'd be really awesome. But nah, otherwise I just dance for myself.
And eventually, I do want to create, without Scott's help. No offense, I do want to create my own short film one day.
Okay.
Do you, boo boo?
Do you?
Go on ahead. Write a script. We're waiting.
You both said that now.
Well, that's because we are waiting for it, Chris. We believe in you, but we
still have yet to see a script from you.
I will get it out. Again, it's
You'll
a
do
dream
it.
project.
You'll
I
do
take
it.
my time on these things.
There we go.
So,
Okay. Do you, Sam?
Go ahead.
You got something to say?
Yeah, no, I would just say that you got to have the right timing, but you also have to have the right motivation.
Exactly. And
But-
motivation plays a huge factor into it.
Well, light
But-
your ass on fire.
But there's some times where you have to just kind of kick yourself in the butt and just decide that you're going to be the next version of yourself. Like this year, I really made a commitment to put myself in a place that I'm going to be healthier, and I'm not just talking I'm going to eat some vegetables.
I mean,
there's-
mentally as well.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I hear that.
but and some of that has to come to you have to know what's holding you back from fighting for that dream project. Why aren't you feeling the drive to do that?
Like you can make up obstacles in your head for a reason not to do something.
Right. For me, I with the whole novel thing, there's this voice in the back of my head that says I don't have enough life experience to write a best-selling novel, because I don't just want to write a novel. I want to write a best-selling novel.
Right.
Don't listen to those.
But so the thing is that there are so many people. Jane Austen was dead by my age. She, she couldn't, if she had my drive, she wouldn't have been the historical, incredible figure that she is. If you're not fighting for your dream,
Exactly.
then you're letting it die.
Exactly. So to move on from that, does anyone else want to add anything they want to
I
do?
was just going to say, I'd love to add about the fact that that's one of those things that I've had to have major lifestyle changes because of the fact that I suffer from what's called gastroparesis. That it's one of those things that it's you can impair your life, be always sick, constantly feeling like you have the stomach flu because my stomach doesn't work like a normal stomach, or I can figure out how to fix it, treat it, do my best to treat it. I have a mostly liquid diet now, and then continue on with life and make what I want to make while I can, or I can just sit around and complain about how much life is keeping me down.
And I don't want to necessarily compare myself to you because I have two different issues entirely, but to kind of go back to what you're saying, you drop these reasons to not do something,
Yeah.
and they become excuses. For when it comes to this channel, again referencing that, you can see definitely a lack of videos from time to time because I lose motivation. And I think motivation is one of the hardest, if not the most hardest thing to keep, to drive you to move forward, to create something new, and to not necessarily entertain the audience, but entertain yourself in the process. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I agree.
So there's that.
I dig it.
All right. Moving on. So from projects that we want to do one day, how about we talk about projects that we love to work in the past? What's some notable things that we worked on in the past?
All right, who do we want to start with?
I don't know.
Justin,
Let's start with
because you
her.
said I don't know.
I mean,
come on.
Some of the projects done in the past because I've continued to try and dabble in the comic industry because I wrote a comic called The Ark, which
was a great comic.
I'm glad you like it, but unfortunately I'm rewriting it right now.
I was going to say, how dare you? It's in my library, sir.
Well, I'm rewriting it anyways because there's things I want to change and move the storyline. But anyways, and that actually was a really good experience because I actually got to go to a comic convention in Tacoma and sell it, and that was really exciting.
That's awesome.
It was really exciting for me but it has difficulties, but it was something worthwhile to do. And I'm really proud of, even though I'm rewriting it, and
You're still proud of the fact that you
and
got to get to that point.
And the company that I created, RNF Comics, well, with the help of some friends, mind you, no longer exists. It was still good to have. Plus, I'm actually really happy about doing the work with Scott with Holmes University.
Yep.
And all the projects that we do together. I'm just really happy to just be creating, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. I lost the word I was trying to say there. That's why I started. But Sam, do you have something that you're necessarily proud of that you did in the past that you made you feel like, oh man, I just did something that I killed myself for months doing or weeks or whatever?
I would say that the thing I'm the most proud of is a poem I have about why 2 is a slut. But
what? Say that again.
I have to inquire what.
I'm one of those, like, I was in college and it was in creative writing, and we were talking about what makes a word strong or weak. And he was talking about
I get you.
He was like, why is the number 1 better than the number 2? And I, in the back of the class, because I'm kind of a class clown, was like, 'cause 2's a slut. And everyone around me laughed, and the teacher was like,
I really want to read that now. That sounds amazing.
But so I ended up writing a poem about, like, I had to justify it. And so that was probably something I'm super proud of. But I also, like, being Karen and getting to embody Karen, like, there is nothing. I love being chaos. Like, chaos is one of my favorite things.
Absolutely.
And Karen is chaos.
And you put it perfectly a couple podcasts ago saying, like, you are everyone watching a horror film. It's your character.
Yeah.
Which is where I have to say my things I look back on that I love are things like Doctor Who Shattered Time, which Justin wrote for, so I don't feel bad saying it because he is Sherlock Holmes. It is the best. Crew.
Why feel bad about it?
It's the best crew I ever worked with so far.
You bastard!
You're part of that crew, though. You're part of that crew.
I know. I just had to do
Doctor
that.
Who Shattered Time is the best crew I ever worked with. They're all wonderful. Sam was a godsend.
And you and I talk about that all the time.
I'd have been insane if it weren't for her.
Like,
Her ego just boosted. She's like,
but her is Karen,
right?
Because Karen is always my character that I portray, which is funny because I in my daily life, if I portray like a thing that's kind of like out of nowhere, sporadic, chaotic that happens, that's out of control. Karen is who I give it. I'm like, oh, thanks, Karen, kind of thing. So then all of a sudden, I was like Marlene, my girlfriend, and I were talking like, why not make that a character in Doctor Who? And I said, yes. So I started writing Karen into it because originally Karen was a very different character and a different name. But Karen became who she was, and I have no regrets about it.
God of Chaos, man.
God of Chaos.
God of Chaos.
Karen's great. Doctor Who Shattered Time's amazing. I'm so passionate working on it. It's like BBC called me and said, make it. And I'm like, okay. But then I also work on Holmes University, which is one of my passion projects that I've always loved because it's a middle finger to everyone who told me no.
So, going back to Doctor Who, I want to take this time to acknowledge that who is not here. Rachel, Ben, and Nolan, part of the Who crew, and also Alex, I believe, right?
And Alex McCorder, who
all
was
killed
an amazing producer.
Amazing producer. All
I know some of you people.
Yeah. Well, I was part of that, so you know me.
Hey!
Oh, beep, ba, ba, beep, ba. But, like, I told Scott this, we have discussions to this day still, like, how much we loved filming Doctor Who. And nothing against Holmes University.
I ain't tripping, yo.
It was just different.
I know where I stand.
But like again, some of my best memories are when we filmed Holmes University, especially Holmes University.
I remember that first day, and the thing is, we were supposed to meet up and get to know each other before, because we were gonna spend a lot of time together as Watson and Holmes,
right.
And we kind of had to make this chemistry out of nothing. So on set, we didn't even refer to each other as Justin and Chris. We were Holmes and Watson.
Yeah.
Like Watson, come here. We gotta do the shot.
I love that we do that online.
We still do that because it's just so ingrained in us to call each other Watson and Holmes.
And the chemistry shows through too, which is amazing. I think our part for acting. But I'm not tuning my own horn. But whatever.
But like you were saying with Who, we not to crap on Holmes, but you were saying something about Who as well.
What?
Talking about Doctor Who and
How fun it was to shoot.
Oh
and
yeah,
how
just
everyone...
like because I've known Ben for the past couple of years, and he makes everything fun no matter what it is.
Yeah.
And then you bring someone in like Rachel, who's always just this bubbly, go getter, and then you got Sam, who brings all the sarcastic humor you could possibly think of.
I have
look, a distraction, dogs.
I have to say, I was horrified at the idea of Doctor Who Shattered Time because it was such a new cast. I remember messaging Chris.
I told you I wanted a different cast.
Well, no, we'd already done a different cast, but like at 1:00 in the morning, I messaged Chris and I was like, I'm terrified, man, because I don't know how these people work. I don't know how this is gonna happen because it's such a new cast. Because I used to work in my wheelhouse.
Hallelujah!
And I was like, I got on set, I was shooting my thing, and I was like, this is everything
It's
I
cool.
wanted.
Exactly.
And the first day, I have to establish everything went wrong
Yeah.
the first day, but it still worked. And I was like, this is amazing. It was so fun. I am so excited to shoot season 2. At this point that we're recording this, we're like, what, 5 months out from shooting season 2?
I don't know.
I think it's like
That's up
5
to you.
months out from shooting
I'm
season
the guy
2.
behind the camera. Well, not really, but
Well, you kind of do a lot of weird things.
I do.
I'm just the god of chaos. I determine everything.
Karen, we're back
I
in
write
5
one
months,
episode.
aren't we?
I write one episode.
Yeah.
I've written one episode.
I am
That's my
everyone-
contribution
I am
to
everyone,
Doctor
I am
Who.
Filming
everyone
now.
behind the scenes and wearing a mask apparently.
You wear a mask in almost in every shot you're in, I think.
Yeah, every shot I'm in, yes.
But anyways,
Yes.
Because Chris said he didn't want to be in it if his face was shown.
Right, because I wanted to, for one day, maybe this is, out there, if we do a Holmes Doctor Who crossover.
Scott's never gonna do a Hulock, bro.
We never know.
We've gotten into so many arguments about Hulock, and I think it should happen, but he doesn't want
Look
to.
at the camera when you do
The
this.
only
Look at the
way
camera.
that I think I can make him make Hulock happen is if I write a really dope script about
Well,
it.
I'm counting
You
on you for
should,
that. I'm
man.
counting on you for that.
Bro.
I will
Hulock
pay you,
ain't
I will
gonna
pay you
happen.
$25.
If I write that script, you'll do it, sir. and
Hulock
you know
ain't
you will.
gonna happen.
Anyways.
Anyways.
Oh crap! We're out of time. We got to wrap.
No,
up.
we're not.
Oh snap!
Are we?
Yeah, it's been 45 minutes, dude.
Holy crap.
Oh wait, no.
No.
Way to go, host.
Yes, it
Can-
has been. All
Can we not math today?
Any last words from anybody?
America is awesome.
America is awesome.
Write as much as possible.
Right, as much as possible. Creativity is the key.
Believe in yourself and go after your dreams.
Believe in yourself and go after your dreams.
or not, I'm walking on air. I never felt so free.
Ooh, dream.
Flying away
And on that beautiful note,
in a prayer. Who could it be? Believe it or not, it's just me. Yes! Yes!
Greatest American hero. One of the best shows ever.
wrap it up. Let's go.
This has been GS Talks. Thanks again to Sam, Justin,
Yes, sir. What's
and
up?
Scott.
What's up, guys, gals, and
And your
everything
host, Chris.
between?
Come on, give it up for me, everybody. We'll see you next time, whenever that is.